Bruce Thompson for BT Pilates. 3 stretch and massage exercises for your neck. And you can see I'm in tall kneeling. I'll just come a little closer. And so I'm just in tall kneeling. You'll notice I have a chair back here. I'm going to use that later on. The first stretch is for the sternocleidomastoid muscle. These muscles, the two of them, when they work together, they lift your head off the pillow, and they do other things too. The sternocleidomastoid on the left here runs from the inner collarbone and spirals up around to the bone behind the ear. So it's like a spiral neck muscle. And so we need a spiral look-up stretch to stretch it. And so this is how we do it. Second rib breastbone area, lift. Side of the Adam's apple, lift. And then we take the hair just in front of the ear and lift. Finally, look up directly above your head. And with a little bit of positioning, we can take that bone behind the ear and ask it to lift away from the inner end of the collarbone. And then we simply come down. If this is a really grumpy muscle, you may feel a little bit of dizziness. Well, that's all right. Just take it in small doses. And every second day, and after a week or two, you've solved possible dizziness problems when you get out of bed, or if you're Pilates instructor, you're getting off the mat and suddenly you feel like you're a drunk. So if you're a little dizzy, don't worry. Just take it reasonably easy. You'll be very surprised how well this works. We'll try the other side. Second rib breastbone area, lift. And just side of the Adam's apple, lift. Hair in front of the ear, lift. Now look directly upwards, and then you can just adjust the length between the inner collarbone and bone behind the ear. And come on down. It's not necessary to push this stretch really hard. In fact, it might be counterproductive. But the point is, you might do 3 each side. It's a mobilization as much as a stretch, and you should be able to do that quite quickly. 1, 2, 3, and then look up. 1, 2, 3, look up, and then you can just adjust it a little bit and come on down. You don't have to stay in the stretch very long. Again, 1, 2, 3, look up, and adjust the stretch a little, and come on down. That was the spiral look-up stretch. That stretch works the sternocleidomastoid. The next stretch, we're looking at the scalenes, which run from first and second rib up to about the middle of the side of the neck. For this, we use a neck side bend and then add in a look-up. So neck side bend, 1, 2, pull on the ear, 3, and now just look up and feel the stretching of this slightly in front of the side neck vertebrae away from the collarbone area. And come on out. And then the same the other side. First the side bend, 1, 2, 3, and then look up a little. And it's putting some lengthening into the scalene muscle that run from first and second rib up to the side of the neck. And we can just put that up a little bit more. And come on out. I do advise not to hold these for too long, because with all of these there's some problem of stretching a nerve that might be a little bit glued and stuck. You don't want to stretch any nerve for over a long period of time. This is the trapezius muscle stretch. This is from the shoulder blade up to the side of the neck, the trapezius muscle. I've got my hands on a chair back, which mimics riding a bicycle, because this area can get very tight if you want to look behind you on a bicycle. And so what we do is a side neck bend, and then we do a look down, but with a few more nuances. So the side bend, once again, rib lift, side ribs, neck lift, ear. Now the look down, and now we point the nose directly at the eye of the elbow, and we've got the stretch in place. And since there's no nerves being stressed, you can hold that for a little while and come out again. So this is for the trapezius. Side neck bend, 1, 2, 3, and then look down and make your nose point towards the eye of the elbow. This is a beautiful position if you want to get into massaging with 3 fingers, or you can get a masseur or a friend to really get into massaging your upper trap muscle. And even better, next time you ride your bicycle, you'll be able to look behind you without wobbling, and it's going to be a much safer ride for you and everybody else. A little note on massage for the sternocleidomastoid and the scalenes. Remember this, the sternocleidomastoid? 1, 2, 3, look up. And now we can do, with just pads of fingers, we can push on that muscle. Up, down, back, front. Because irritating a muscle can irritate the throat. A scalene stretch with massage. Remember, we do this with the side bend and look up. 1, 2, 3, look up. And we're feeling the side neck lifting away from the first and second rib. Again, we can just use pads of fingers, push up, push down, back, forward, pads of fingers, nice and wide contact with the neck muscles. And the neck muscles are under stretch, which means the nerves tend not to be, so the muscles are actually getting the massage and not the nerves. They're coming out. Now you do that 7 minutes a day, probably every second day, and you can massively improve the status of your neck muscles, and this could greatly help your whiplash. 3 things you need to do for whiplash: gap the side neck vertebrae, find better, more relaxed and taller posture, and massage the muscles. This is Bruce Thompson for BT Pilates and BT Pilates blog.